I could change my hair color, I could change my outfit. Like my truth is the same. These things are like embellishments of the frequencies of the conversations I'm in, of, you know, when I become a mother, everything will shift once again. It will be an entirely different identity, and the list goes on. And I feel that the moment that we think that we know who we totally are, we limit our expansion. So instead, you know, sure, have your staples, and some people like Chanel, they're like, style is like forever, but it's like, you know, and some of us are here to like change it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I'm curious too, like in saying that your core and who you are doesn't change, you know, you're very clear with what your purpose is and what you're here to do. And I feel like there's a lot of people that might not be at that level, right? But I'm curious for you, how much of the external, we'll call them embellishments, help you move further towards that new chapter? Like, you know, they say you dress how you want to feel, right? So in a way, this is a really great way to reverse engineer not feeling great, right? It's like, go get your hair done, get your makeup done, or yeah, go get some new outfits or change up your style, like really sort of utilize what you have to feel different, or go get some new things, right? So I'm curious for you, like, what came first, the energy, or was it you got the sort of essentials that you needed, the hot pink, you got all the hot pink stuff, then once you had it, you're like, okay, this is it, or you already felt the hot pink energy and you were like, okay, now I need to get stuff that matches how I feel? For you specifically.
So I feel the feminine path to spirituality is the path of beauty. And a lot of people see beauty as like superficial. They might be like, well, this whole thing doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you dress, doesn't matter. And it's like, yeah, on the highest level, we're all souls. This is just a costume. I don't even exist. Fact, you know? And I am here in this physical body, and I am here on this physical planet. Why do we go to sacred sites? You know, why do I go to a temple and I look at the sacred geometry and the turquoise mosaic and I feel something? Why do I feel something when I go to Egypt and I see the tombs and the ways that they have engraved those things thousands of years ago and the way they still stand? Why do I look at the Sphinx and I feel the power of that sacred feminine? Like, why? Because we are visual beings.
Yeah.
Because why do I look at a sunset? You know, why do I look at a cute dog? Why do I look at anything in life? Because these things change who I am. So yes, I could close my eyes and go through the world, and that is also a reality. And yes, and even deep, I can't even say even deeper one, because art is just as deep. And I feel that we diminish it because it is the feminine, you know, and the things that are related to the feminine as a society, we don't value.
Yeah.
You know, so we're like, oh, like, of course it will be men who are like, oh, those things are frivolous. Like, why do you guys bother? It doesn't actually matter. What are they the most drawn to?
Right.
They're like, oh, I love a girl who wears no makeup. Then they're like, oh, all these girls, tons of makeup. You know, that's makeup, right? You know, it's like, and moving beyond, you know, the plant medicine actually, it challenged me. It was like, go on your podcast with no makeup on. And, you know, I did multiple episodes, zero makeup on. And since then I'm doing my own makeup, which is just like minimal makeup, the makeup I would just do on a day-to-day basis. And today you were like, who did your makeup? I'm like, I just have done it myself since. So it's like, so beauty doesn't mean more. It doesn't mean, you know, fake. It doesn't mean any of those things. Now the question of like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you feel hot pink or did you wear the hot pink? I felt like shit. I felt like crap. I felt like I had no idea what was going to go on. I felt unsexy. I felt like I got cheated on. I felt like, fuck. So who do I want to become now? Well, I want to be someone who feels like she's sexy, but not for the male gaze, like for me. Yeah. I want to wear the thing that I couldn't wear in my marriage because I would have been judged for it. I want to post the things I couldn't have posted in my marriage because I wasn't allowed to. Like, I want to be that version of me that I couldn't be. Yeah. So I started to like lean into that. And for me, it started with like, I would do like a photo shoot. And then I would like have that picture of me and it would be like deifying myself of like, wow, that archetype of me in like gold chains and amethyst in a waterfall exists. I am also that sacred site. You know, I always loved like the Trinidad Carnival costumes and the colors and this and that, but I never thought in my life I would go. And I'm going to go there. And wearing that, I'm like, that version of me exists. And then like when I would be crying and I would like look back at my pictures and I'm like, yeah, I'm that bitch, you know? And so it started with not feeling that way and going into it, even though in between the twerks I was crying, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's where it started. But then I started to get the hot girl energy,
Right.
and I started to feel more confident. I would, maybe walk in there, not, and then walk out. You walk out of a dance class. First, you're like, I can't stretch and my back hurts. And then you walk out, you're like, I want to do a second class, and it would be that. And then riding that, then it was like, oh, I feel hot pink. I wear hot pink. It was like matched. And then it was like, I don't know, maybe I got a little tired, I guess. Like I lived it up so much. I traveled so much that I was like, I feel the next evolution for me, which if I went straight into it would have felt like going backwards. But it's like you got to go yin yang, the spiral, right? So it's like, what does full liberation look like to me? It's like, okay, traveling the world. What does the next version of liberation look like for me? It's like, oh, having a home. And then it's like, and then the pendulum shifts that way. And then finding like the beauty and the joy of like staying in on a Saturday night by myself, finding the beauty and the joy of, getting my second dog, like grounding and cooking again. And, and these are things that I also let go of in the process.
Yeah.
So I feel it's continuing tuning into what feels like the most expansive version of you next. And then it's often not a conscious decision of like, this is the next era set in stone.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm drawn to this thing. So then obviously if I'm staying at home, I'm not going to be wearing hot pink feather jumpsuits.
Why not?
So then I could, but it's just not as comfortable. Like my values are changing, right? It's like comfort now is becoming more of them. And then it's like, and then it's funny because I actually dressed like this at the beginning of my spiritual journey, but I had to completely walk away from it to like come back to it. And like, Lord knows, I might be a goth next week, guys. I have no idea. But what I love, and I feel what I try to do in this podcast is to be all archetypes of me, all archetypes of the feminine, to give people permission that like I might wear black. I did wear black lipstick for my shadow work episodes. And then I wore like silver metallic for like that. And it's like, and it's not so much about what I wear. That's just to visually show, but it's about being all of these different sides of you. And I feel that the reason why our lives get mundane and we do get stuck in a rut, and then often some big crisis happens is because we stop being the different sides of ourselves. And then we start looking for them in other people.
Yeah.
Why does infidelity even happen, right? It's the thing that's missing in the relationship that you're personifying in someone else. What does a crazy obsessive crush comes from? We've personified those qualities in someone else. Like any of these things, it's like if there's ever an obsession, if there's ever a fixation, it's something that we have not embodied within ourselves that we think exists outside of ourselves. So the more fluid you are, the more self-sourced you become. And then you match with your mirror. It's like, I already laugh and I already play. And now I can laugh and play with you. We're both already there. Neither of us have to bring each other up.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
What about you? Do you feel like you have seasons and eras?
I mean, of course I do. You've seen, me go through, but I think for me, mostly it's like I like the visual medium of changing things up, externally and just, having a certain style or kind of changing it up. And there's moments where I want to really dress up and feel, super luxe and, wear like pencil skirts and high heels. And then there are moments where I just want to like wear denim and concert tees. And then there are moments where I just want to be in my loungewear, which for the most part is a lot of the time, especially when you work from home. I mean, you're just lounging a lot.